Hello everyone, this is Audio from Advanced Mechanics and welcome to another episode of Know Your Car. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking about one of the sensors that plays an important role in maintaining your air-fuel mixture so that your engines run smoothly and more efficiently. So without any waste of time, let's get into the video. The sensor I'm going to be talking about today is called the oxygen sensor or the O2 sensor. The oxygen sensor monitors the amount of oxygen content in the exhaust gases. It then gives feedback to the electronic control unit of your car, which then adjusts the air-fuel mixture accordingly. This helps your engine to have better fuel economy and run more efficiently. Your car can either have 2 or 4 oxygen sensors depending on the engine configuration. For example, in straight inline engines, you are more likely to have 2 oxygen sensors. And on V8 engines or horizontally opposed engines, or boxer engine if you may like, you are more likely to have 4 oxygen sensors since these engine configurations have 2 banks. So oxygen sensors are divided into 2. There are oxygen sensors found before the catalytic converter. These oxygen sensors are called upstream oxygen sensors. And there are oxygen sensors found after the catalytic converter. And these ones are called downstream oxygen sensors. The upstream and downstream oxygen sensors play different roles on your car. And this is where I want you to listen carefully because I've heard a lot of people mix up their functions. The oxygen sensor found before the catalytic converter or the upstream oxygen sensors monitor the amount of oxygen content in the exhaust gases. So these oxygen sensors only monitors the amount of oxygen content found in the raw exhaust gases produced by your engine. That's why they are found before the catalytic converter, because they just measure the amount of oxygen content found in the raw exhaust gases produced direct from the engine. So they basically tell the ECU if the engine is running rich, meaning there is a lot of unburnt fuel in the exhaust gases compared to the oxygen content, or running lean, meaning there is less fuel compared to the oxygen content in the exhaust gases. And after the ECU receives this information, it adjusts the amount of air and fuel going into the combustion chamber, which results in your engine running more efficiently. The oxygen sensors found after the catalytic converter or the downstream oxygen sensors only monitors how well the catalytic converter is working, because the catalytic converter turns harmful substances like carbon monoxide into less harmful substances like carbon dioxide and water. The downstream oxygen sensors monitors how well it's doing that, and that's why they are found after the catalytic converter on your exhaust pipe. So the downstream oxygen sensors only monitors how well the catalytic converter is working. At this point, if you follow these videos, I would say the location may vary from car to car, but not for the oxygen sensors, because the location of the oxygen sensors are always on the exhaust pipe, either before the catalytic converter or after the catalytic converter. Now you know how the oxygen sensor works. What are some of the problems that can characterize a failing oxygen sensor? So the first thing you may notice is that the check engine light may illuminate on your dashboard, and these are usually rich or lean codes that may appear after scanning your ECU. Your engine may start to idle very roughly, and this is because the oxygen sensor is sending wrong signals to the ECU, which is causing an imbalance in the air-fuel mixture. You may also experience poor fuel economy, and you may have performance issues like poor acceleration. Thank you for watching this episode of Know Your Car. If this video was helpful, make sure you like, comment and share. And to see more videos like this, you can follow Advanced Mechanics on Facebook and Instagram. See you in the next one and have a great day.